What's up, strong friends? Day 6, December Daily Doses. Today we're going to go over squat and a core exercise that I like, which is an alternating knee to elbow plank. We're going to do 3 to 10 rounds. We're going to look for about 10 reps per station, and we'll dive in there. See you guys in a second. Today's exercise, squats. We learned the pull squat, and I think the pull squat is a great starting foundation to learning the squat pattern. Today we're going to go over it, but we're going to move like we're still doing a pull squat. So I'm going to show you a couple things to watch out for when you are doing squats. And what's the intention of a squatting exercise? Crickets, crickets, crickets. Right, to move the hips vertically through the legs, right? So I'm using my legs to move my hips up and down, which means my posture needs to maintain one position. Doesn't mean that as I go down to the squat, I need to search with my chest or my head. I'm going to push my torso up, staying as vertical as possible, right? A couple things people always want to know is, where do I put my feet? Okay? And let me step over onto the turf so maybe you can see a little bit better where my feet are, right? I want my feet to be slightly wider than my hips, and I want my toes pointed slightly away from my body. So if you think about if you look down on your feet, and these are your little feety guys, right? I want them outside my shoulders, pointed away, right? The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I stay tall and my chest stays towards you. When I lower down, I'm going to push my hips down. I'm going to pull myself into the squat, pause, press back out, right? Your hands can go wherever they need to go. Across your chest, out ahead of you, which actually helps. Behind you makes it harder. Above you makes it even harder. So let's just do it with ourselves, our hands right ahead of us, just like we would for a pull squat. Down, 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 up, 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 up. Your range of motion is where you can own the squat. So I don't want to go so low that I fall forward, or so low that I lose power. Okay, just because I can go down this low doesn't mean I should be this low. I want to go as low as I can to maintain control. Now there's only a point to where right back here it gets hard, but I'm going to squeeze down, I'm going to push my knees away, and I'm going to sit my butt down, and I'm going to stand straight up out of that squat. We use the squat once the pull squat has become too easy. Okay, so when pull squats, you can do 10s and 20 of them and no big deal. You're not really feeling it. You want to increase the load. That's when we get to the regular body weight squat. Another thing, we want to make sure that our knee is tracking over the center of our foot. So I'm going to take this down real quick, and we're going to look at where my feet are when I'm squatting. Stay with me. Go to the turf just for a color difference. Right? So when I look down, right, my knees stay over my toes. Okay? So I have toe, knee. My knee isn't falling in. Okay, we can see that. It falls in from the leg. I'm going to keep it in line with the leg. The entire exercise, we're going to use the bench. And the bench could be replaced with a couch or chair or a table or a staircase or anything elevated, right? This exercise can also be on the ground. I like to teach it on the bench because I think it allows for a little bit better movement pattern. What we're going to do is a rotating exercise for the core and the hips. We're going to go into a plank position with our hands on the bench, and then we're going to take a knee and we're going to go alternate knee to elbow. So I'm going to maintain a good plank position. Okay, I'm on my toes. My shoulders are above my hands, not behind. And I'm going to take my right knee, I'm going to go under my body. I'm going to keep my shoulders square. I'm going to push my knee into my forearm and return back to the plank position. So, knee to arm and back down. Knee to arm and back down. Now this is not the exercise, right? I'm not just moving my knee. I'm actually trying to rotate my hip under while keeping my shoulder blades and my collarbone square into the bench. Because it's not a bendy elbow exercise, okay? It's a rotation. And anytime we think about what muscles we want to use, we're going to think about the points above and below them that are the attachment points, the anchors of different muscles or groups of muscles. So if I'm going to use a rotating core exercise, I want to bring my right hip as close to my left rib. That's the goal, is hip to rib. Hanging leg raise is actually a hip to rib exercise, not just a leg exercise. This exercise, a plank crossover, an alternate knee to elbow plank crossover, we're going to use alternate hip to rib in the contraction. The knee to the arm is just a goal for the exercise, like a physical, like I can touch this goal. But the intrinsic, the internal goal is to take your abs and flex your hip into your rib. You're going to feel a lot more contraction in the abs and the obliques and the lower back coming around to make that action happen. I want to start with about 6 to 12 reps per round of exercise, and that's going to be an alternate. So left to right is 1, right to left is 2, going towards 6, 12, 24, 20 reps. Whenever you can't make the quality of the exercise like a high quality exercise, your repetition is over. So if it's 8 and 9 and 10 would suck, don't do 9 and 10. If you're going and you can do 40 or 50, you need to slow down and you need to think about the point of the exercise. Right? The point of the exercise isn't to touch my knee to my elbow. The point of the exercise is to flex my abs and pulling my hip to my rib and moving slow and going back to a nice secure position at the end of every repetition. Like to pause, move, pause, move, pause, move, so they're not creating too much momentum. And momentum kills tension. And tension is what we want the muscle to feel, right? When we feel the muscle working. So we have squats, and we have alternate knee to elbows. You can throw in some upper body exercises if you want to. Throw in a good push-up and look for, 3 to 10 rounds. We'll start with about 5 squats, 10 knee to elbows, throw in some push-ups, and you've got a really good full body exercise. Do as many rounds as you can control and rest whenever you need to. Remember, Friday at noon, we're going to do our live Facebook Q&A. We'll go over any questions you have about things that we have already went over, or any questions that you'd like me to answer, or future videos that you want me to make about any exercise, nutrition, tips, mindset issues. What's your biggest challenge? Tap into this knowledge base and let us know how we can help you make it through December.